Allow me to welcome you to the reception to honor student work in F.A.B, which is our publication of student work, the best of Comp and Comp 2. The first person I want to introduce to kick off the festivities is our president, Dr. Catherine Addy. Please welcome Dr.
Thank you very much, Sally. Hi. This is a wonderful crowd and a wonderful occasion. I love honoring students and the good work that they do. And as a former English teacher, I am particularly proud to honor those who write and write well. I know what hard work it is. I know how much time it takes. I know how agonizing it can be and how many times you can sit there with a blank screen or a blank piece of paper and think, I don't know what it is I want to say. I remember going through this myself on many occasions, so I do appreciate what you have gone through. And you can brag that you are now a published author. This is great. This is really wonderful news. Make sure that you put this on your resumes and tell all your friends and family and put it in your Christmas cards and whatever else you want to brag about, because it is really an accomplishment to be proud of. And we are pleased to be able to recognize you in this fashion, simple though it is. So, congratulations. Please keep up the good work. Remember, there is writing in all of your other courses too, so don't think that what you've done here now lets you off the hook. You are forever to be known as somebody who is articulate. Okay, congratulations, and thank you for achieving what you have.
So, just to start, and I had name tags, I meant to socialize more with you before. I'm hoping I can mingle with some of you afterward. We had an iPhone. It really was a Sally problem. I have this little setup back there that is easy enough to plug in if you have a jack and if you have the speaker working properly, but it wasn't projecting. So Vadim set me up and we can play some music after, but that's why I didn't come over and say hello before, so my apologies. To start with, I'm just going to ask each writer just to stand, and then we'll tell you about stand and be acknowledged, and then I'm going to have you yes, that's right. Amanda's gonna, she's standing in her own way. So, for composition, Jeanette Gonzalez. Stephen Meckel. Amanda Zygmunt. Sammy Hong. Peg Nadeau, I don't think is here. Peg could be here. Some students have transferred already and couldn't make it back, so I know we're going to miss a few people. Tim Webster, I think, left us. Yeah. I know Adam Dolce couldn't make it today unless he surprised us. Okay. Paul Harris. Martina Kozlowska. Nate Cruz. Okay. Grace Sennett transferred. Lena Matthews, Comp 2. Christopher Macchio, Comp 2. Jeremy Nicholson, Comp 2. Kelly Burrell, Comp 2. Anthony Lanteri, Comp 2. And Jason Karwowski, Comp 2. So if you'll indulge me, I want to read, you're all getting, if you haven't already, some, I don't know if people came by over the summer, I think some people may have, but you're all walking away with your own copy, obviously, of F.A.B, with your work in it. We also have other forms of awards for you. We have certificates, and hopefully you weren't looking too closely. We needed signatures, so we were kind of getting those ready as you were walking in. Those are prepared for you. We also have prizes for all of you in the form of the Best American Essays. And I know Kelly might have something to say about prizes for everyone.
I just did.
Oh, did you? Except remember that there were 6,000 essays, and you are the best of the best. So these prizes are for being selected. That's funny. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. But everyone will have a copy of the Best American Essays, which is a fabulous collection you may be familiar with the Best American series. These are anthologies of the best American essays, short stories, science writing, travel writing, and these are compiled. I forget who publishes these. This is Mariner. They must be an imprint of some big publishing house. But they're fabulous collections, and we like to give them to you as a way to continue your wonderful inquiry into wonderful essay writing. So everyone gets that. And then we do have first and second prizes for both Comp and Comp 2. And those are gift cards, and because of state limits, we can't just give you an Amazon gift card, it has to be a bookstore gift card. So we have cash awards for people, the winner for the best essay in Comp and the runner-up, and then the winner in Comp 2 and the runner-up. So with all of that, I hope you'll indulge me reading from the preface that I wrote for F.A.B, because this might tell you a little bit about how it came into being and you know, what your work represents. This is the 4th edition, and this edition of F.A.B represents the best writing in Comp and Comp 2, submitted in the 2013-2014 academic year at Tunxis Community College, culled from approximately 6,000 student essays. We have 24 seats in Comp classes. We run about 25 to 30 Comp sections. We run about 18 Comp 2 sections, and as you know, we assign 3 major essays in each of those classes. Multiply all that together, and it's about 6,000 major essays that your essays rose to the top of. So forgive me for ending with a preposition. Sometimes you have to do it. And so you represent the best of 6,000 essays. We had an unprecedented number of submissions this year. Your faculty are sitting among you. We're always honored to have so many wonderful faculty nominating students. We couldn't do it without your faculty. And we think this is the best collection yet. We mean it because there are many more submissions this year. As in previous years, the composition section includes essays in 3 major genres: narrative, rhetorical analysis, and argument. Because one of the goals of the collection is to provide models for Tunxis students, the essays demonstrate distinguished achievement in the course abilities, and you've heard lots about the abilities, right? Including critical inquiry, engagement with texts, and the effective use of authoritative evidence. In addition to these, the ability that usually distinguishes our top writers is their voice on the page. That attention to tone, deliberate manipulation of structure, or their fresh approach to an argument that has a notable impact on the reader. F.A.B has expanded this year to include more Comp 2 essays. Students now have more models. We've done book review and analysis, research analysis, and the research essay. And Comp 2 pieces showcase superb writers continuing to sharpen the impact of their prose while managing multiple sources from independent research and engaging the complexities of important issues in American culture. So this is what you all have done, as I'm sure you know. We always, as faculty, when we're engaged in these classes, we're always so impressed by the range of topics. I realize you have assigned topics, but we're always amazed at your rhetorical choices within those frameworks, and in Comp 2 with the choices you make for your own topics. One of the challenges of teaching Comp classes is that the essay form resists definition. Each year we read for the anthology, the same questions come up. How do we encourage free thinking, discovery, engagement with complexity, and risk-taking, even as we insist on the basic conventions of form and structure that open the gates of acceptance into the many worlds of public writing today? Teaching and learning in the college writing classroom at their best seem to hit a sweet spot. The excitement of discovering what is possible in ourselves when we explore meaning through writing, and the beauty of form done well. It's a testament to both the student writer and to the faculty member when the magic happens, as it has in these essays and all the wonderful submissions we had the pleasure of reading. So lastly, if this wouldn't have come into being without faculty members sitting in the back row, James Schlater, who brought this idea with him from UMass Amherst. He came to me one day 4 years ago and said, "Why don't we publish student writing?" I said, "I don't know. We just haven't had anyone to coordinate it." And James was the editor for the first 3 years of F.A.B. and really brought this into existence. So we own James Schlater and Carol Mahmood, professor of English and humanities chair, always gives her generous and perennial support to this and all humanities projects. Carol Mahmood. Dave Stoll, who is our bookstore manager, is always patient and instrumental in getting F.A.B to the shelves. You know, we told you that you'd have notifications sometime in July, and we were putting this thing out there in August. So it's always believe it or not, the summers are always more packed than they seem for your faculty members, so we were reading lots of submissions, and Dave was really instrumental in getting it going. And it also, obviously, last but not least, does not exist without the faculty member and without your dedication. Heartfelt thanks to everyone for making this happen, so congratulations to everybody. So, in no particular order at the moment, I think they're alphabetized, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to call you up here. I also wanted, I would be remiss, obviously, in not thanking one other person without whom none of this happens. Where's Rosalie Kavoris? Rosalie, would you please stand? Rosalie Kavoris is our admin assist, and she makes all of this happen. Also Vadim Korf, who is videotaping the event. We just have so many people at Tunxis who contribute to anything that happens here, so debt of gratitude. So as I call your name, please come up. I'm going to sort of sift out the people I know who were not here. Sammy Hong, not here. Okay. Martina Kozlowska. Okay. Anna Montieri. All right. So I think, actually, I'm going to start with Comp 2 because I have things going on here, more Comp 2 certificates. So this student wrote an amazing essay analyzing a book on the Mexican drug wars and the American response. I'd like to ask Chris Macchio to come up, please. This is Professor Schlater's student. Congratulations. There you go. All right. Pagnato not here. Tim Webster not here. Okay. Forget what I said, we're going to Comp 1 as well. This is ad lib at its best. This person wrote, I hope you take the time to read these essays. It's always fun to see your own writing in print, and when I was published in an anthology years ago, I immediately, of course, went to my own. I hate to sound so self-serving, but you love to see your own name there in between the covers. But then I went back and read the other people, because it's such great company. This young woman wrote a piece called All I Want to Do Is Dance, and she was pretty sure she was the only one in Puerto Rico who could not dance, and she writes this really amazing narrative about her journey, and it's well done. It takes a sort of serious subject, it adds levity, and I'd like to invite Jeanette Gonzalez to come up. Here you are, and I have a book for you. Congratulations. All right. This is a Comp 2 student who wrote a fabulous essay with a great personal voice regarding medicated America. I'd like to welcome Jason Karwowski. Congratulations, here you are. Oh, Otto's in here. I think we need to figure that out. Take that with you, please. Congratulations. I'll talk about that in a moment. Another Comp 2 student who wrote an amazing analysis about the state of marriage in American culture. Lena Matthews, who's left us but has come back from Central. Lena. Nice to see you. Okay. And another Comp student. There's more to say about this essay. It has traveled beyond the zip code that is Tunxis. Amanda Zigman wrote an essay about losing her ability to walk overnight. She was a rare disease that changed her life forever, and she called it The Sleep That Changed My Life. It's an incredible story. She wrote an incredible narrative, and this story is now being published where, Professor Jarvis?
In a book, we actually have the author with us today.
Wonderful.
Who's compiling a book of narratives or interviews about people from Connecticut who've been through difficult times, and I think it's called Why Go On? Connecticut Residents Bring Darkness to Light.
Dark Days to Light.
Dark Days to Light. And Amanda is the representative from Hartford County, I believe. For that book, there's one person from each county that's being represented.
Thank you. So you can see that your writing has a life. Sometimes I'm always trying to tell students in my classroom, and people sitting here already know this, but try to tell people that this isn't just an assignment. If you can write for an audience, an imagined audience that is college educated or on their way to becoming college educated, then you get rhetorical choices beyond just the scope of the classroom. And this is the power of example of that. So I'd like to commend Amanda and ask her to come forward. Thank you. Okay. We have 4 people left, 2 in Comp and 2 in Comp 2. And these 4 people were our award winners this year. In Comp 1, our runner-up took rhetorical analysis and sort of made it his own by analyzing gender roles and then arguing for reinterpretation of these roles with a close reading of children's literature. Nominated by Professor Jarvis. The runner-up for the best composition essay this year is Paul Harris. And the winning essay in composition, and we did have a committee. I feel, always a little conflict of interest when it's my own student, but the winning essay was about our relationship to technology, and as many people know, that can become a hackneyed, tired subject today. It's often assigned, and we have now, only about a decade into the ubiquity of smartphones and the like, some of the dialogue that we have about technology can become sort of old and tired, but this person made it fresh. Seth Freytag wrote his essay on the hidden beneficiaries of social media, arguing against the hand-wringing that many of us have about losing our social skills. So he did what we like all writers to do, which is sort of push against the dominant assumptions on a subject and find the resources to make it his or her own. And Seth did that with aplomb. So I'd like to welcome Seth Freytag as our winner for Comp. And in Comp 2, our runner-up also made a topic his own, wrote about the policies relating to blood donation and the exile of the MSM donor. So for many years, anyone who was a male who had sex with males was basically shut out of blood donation. And this essay is called Return from Exile, the MSM Donor. And what was so impressive about Jeremy Nichols' essay was that he managed about 20 different, if you look at his works cited page, he managed 20 different sources, many of which were very complicated medical journals. And so simplifying some of the medical research is hard enough for people who are writing in for the New York Times, but Jeremy held his own and wrote a really beautiful essay arguing for policy change and also pushing against common assumptions at the same time. So our runner-up for Comp 2 is Jeremy Nicholson. And last but not least, our Comp 2 winner this year. The reason that I picked out Kelly when I said everyone gets a book was because her essay, entitled Everyone Wins, or Do They?, pushes against the idea that everyone gets a trophy. It's a compelling essay that layers in visual media. She's got some relevant cartoons from Doonesbury and Calvin and Hobbes, I believe. She's got psychologists, sociologists, cultural studies experts. Her manner of synthesis was bringing together disparate sources, different kinds of voices, and then in no uncertain terms, in her own voice, arguing very passionately that we need award ceremonies, we need to distinguish excellence, that we don't do anyone a favor when we give everyone a trophy. So that's why the little joke was going on before that everyone got a book. But there's no mistaking number one in Comp 2, and that's Kelly Burrell. So. that's it, folks. I really want to thank you for coming, really. There's a word we don't need in English, right? Really, I so really want to thank you for coming. We're so proud of you. There's another one. Please enjoy some food. I'm going to try and get some music going. We have a cake. We're going to cut the cake. I hope you'll have some cake. And Dr. Addy was absolutely right. I'm going to remind you to put this on your honors and achievements section of your resume. This is most definitely belonging in that category, and you are published writers. So we wish you the best in the future, and please keep writing. So good luck. Thanks for coming. Please eat more, socialize. See you.